I have a brand new video for you guys. I am going to be explaining how to claw in PUBG Mobile. Now, a lot of you guys have been commenting on most of my videos, asking me to make a claw video, more like begging rather than asking. But aside from that, you guys really want me to make a video on this, so here you go. I will be doing the hand cam to show you guys truly what it looks like in order to claw in this game. That will be coming around 30,000 subscribers, so not too long from now, probably like a month or two, depending on how fast I grow exponentially. But aside from that, let's just get started here, and I'm going to tell you guys everything about how to claw. Now, first off, it's mostly based on the device that you have. Of course, I am an iPhone player, so anyone who has a device around the size of an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus, I do recommend listening to this video right now and listening to how I set up my claw, if of course you want to learn how to claw for PUBG Mobile. Now, I'm going to actually give the benefits right now. If you do claw in PUBG Mobile, it's going to make you insane at this game. And the reason why I say this is because with claw, you're able to move left and right with the joystick. You're able to move your screen left and right. You're able to shoot, you're able to scope, all of it at the same exact time. So it's super helpful. You get control of all of your buttons at once instead of having, both thumbs. Most of you guys use both thumbs, and with both thumbs, it's not really the best. You have to move, and then you have to stop, then you have to scope, and then you have to shoot. It's really, inefficient, if I want to say. And I don't really recommend using thumbs. Now for claw, as I said, I have an iPhone 7, so what I do, of course, you can see my settings on my screen right now, with my jump button and my reload button, and also the swap of my weapons and the backpack is all in the bottom right corner. That is where my right thumb is placed, and it has control of all of these buttons on this side right here. Now, sometimes I even extend my right thumb to go all the way to the view eye button, whatever that is. So then I can see in front of me and back of me. You guys know the point of the button. You can, with an iPhone 7 or all the way down to iPhone 6, or maybe the iPhone 6 Plus or the 7 Plus, you're definitely able to extend your thumb that far in order to get control of all of these buttons. And honestly, I really do like my setup, and it's super helpful while getting control of all of your buttons. So I have all of these buttons here on the bottom right corner. Now on the top right corner, what I have is actually just the shoot buttons, and that's only for my right pointer finger. That's literally the only use of your pointer finger, that one button, because that's technically what you should be focusing on the most, except for scoping in. Scoping in is definitely more important than shooting, to be honest. So then you get catch up your characters, but you understand what I mean here. And actually, I forgot to say, my right thumb actually goes so far that it even goes sometimes to the map. So I extend it to the map, which is on the top right of my screen, and it also extends to the sound buttons and oh god, I just remembered I don't have sound on this video. It extends to the sound buttons, and it also extends to the setting buttons. Now let's start talking about the left side. With the left side, you want to have just your bottom, for the bottom left part of your screen where you have your joysticks, so then you're able to move around and run. You should only have just your left thumb controlling that. And there should be no other use of your left thumb. Your left thumb should practically never leave, and I mean this, never leave the joystick. For example, if you're in a case where you drop your finger on the joystick and then someone starts shooting you, and the nearest tree from you is just, 50 meters away, yeah, that's not so much of a good sign, and definitely camping in the grass isn't going to be so helpful either. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, you always want to have your thumb, your left thumb, of course, always on the bottom left screen on the joystick, and ensure that most of the time that you're running. Of course, I'm someone who rushes a lot. I really hate camping in this game. God, do I hate it. But you guys understand the point here. It's always best to have your thumb on that joystick, and in order to ensure for your safety, in order to not die in rage, and also to always be running, always keeping speed with yourself, so then you get to action faster. And now your pointer thinger, and of course I'm talking about my left pointer thinger. So you have control of these 3 buttons right here, and also the follow button. Of course, when you begin the match, you have this follow button. You're able to invite people, or you're able to follow people. That's quite obvious to use your pointer thinger on that. Of course, you can just kind of crunch it in, click on it. I'm talking about with the iPhone 7, it's quite small, to be honest. So I have to crunch in my finger in order to reach for that follow button. I don't move my finger back then click on it. And by the way, guys, you should never leave the kind of claw setup. You should never really separate your hands or actually move it away in order to click on something with one of your pointer fingers. No, that's not the point. You're always supposed to leave your hands in the claw position. And if you guys don't know what that looks like, of course, I'm going to be making a hand cam for that, and you're going to see what I mean. But for those who have played claw before, played Critical Ops or Bullet Force, you should understand what I mean. And you should never move your hands away from the claw position. Sorry guys for my English today. I apologize. Also, you have the scope button, you have the lay down button, which I practically never use, and then you have the crouch button, which I also never use. Those 2 buttons I don't really find a use for, but when I do, I definitely have them just on the top left of my screen, and my pointer finger is there in order to save me. So yeah, now that's the way that you're supposed to set up your fingers with, of course, this setup and with claw. Now holding the device, and I'm also going to be talking about sensitivity too. With holding the device, you want to ensure that it's laying on your palms, and the way I set it up is actually, I kind of set it up as like, imagine like a television screen right in front of you, and you're most likely grabbing the television screen and you're going to be holding it up. That's kind of the way I set it up, where it's going vertically onto my palm. You guys should definitely know what I mean by here. Like, this is simplistic stuff. And also I'm doing the same thing with my other palm, so both right and left hands on the palm. I'm holding the phone vertically. Then I move them down and I start laying it on the bottom of my palms down to my wrist. So then I'm able to, actually lay my phone onto my hands, and it's able to stay there for quite a while. Then I set up the position of my fingers. Of course, I've explained that just before, and you just start clawing, you just start practicing. And it does take quite a while to get used to it. It took me about a month since the first time I clawed. It only took me a month to finally understand and comprehend the way to claw, but that's pretty much it to that. Now, sensitivity. This is probably the last thing I'm going to mention. Sensitivity is super important. You want to have very high sensitivity when clawing. Honestly, with lower sensitivity, it's not going to really be the best. But I'm telling you, with higher sensitivity, you can most definitely control it while you're doing claw. And of course, it's going to help you in many situations. If someone's in back of you, you can definitely do a 180, tap them, then turn right back. Honestly, it's super helpful and it's super amazing. That's pretty much it for this video. I'll probably do a part 2 for how to claw. But thank you guys for everything, and peace. By the way, yes, it is my birthday, and